you're good, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I have my phone next to I have my phone I have my phone in my hands because I have the specific Reddit thread I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're right there with notes.
yeah.
Well,
so basically the different variations.
Oh, I'm excited. Let's have a good ass time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Indie Book Club here at VGU.tv. My name is Graydon Webb. I am joined, as always, by the illustrious Allan Muir. How are you doing this evening?
Tired.
Tired or weird?
Yep. No, tired.
Me too. It's been a rough week of sleeping. For some reason, I can't get it right, and hopefully, we won't go extremely long. We've been doing good. I mean, last week's it's not. By the time you hear this, it will be up. The last episode was like hour and a half ish. I want to say it was a little longer, but we've been keeping these to a pretty good solid hour. So
there was a plot twist for me that is.
Oh,
the closing part of the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I did that over because it didn't save properly.
Oh.
So I altered things.
Okay. Like what did you have to do over? The whole bit in the house?
Yeah. And I altered. I think I altered I deviated from the course that was previously going. So yeah.
Wow. Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, you should go and listen to the other episodes because we have been playing Oxenfree by Night School Studios, a Netflix studio. And yeah, we finished it this week. This will be our final episode. But did we finish it? Did we really? ? So there's going to be, as always, a lot of spoilers. We're going to be talking about the ending. We're going to be talking about all the endings. So if you don't want to have, repeat playthroughs spoiled, don't listen. But also, I will address the fact that the elephant in the room, that we kind of didn't finish the game. We played through one playthrough of it, and Oxenfree is a game that apparently requires 3 playthroughs, and we're not going to be doing that. I mean, if Allan wants to do that, be my guest, but I don't want to do it all again and then record it and all that stuff. I want to keep moving on. So, strangely, like I said, I played this on PlayStation for the second time, and it didn't have my save file. Oh, you know what? I bet I played it on my old PlayStation. So I bet the cloud save is somewhere. But yeah, I didn't replay it in a way that you're supposed to replay it. So now I would go back to be playing it the second time. But alas, I am rambling. But yeah, Allan has all of the endings and they want to talk about them. So we will be doing so. If you stick around, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. Why don't you give our podcast feed a subscribe? Ah, my God. Follow the thing.
Subscribe to the various podcast feeds we have here at VGU.
We need more scrobblers. Please subscribe. So do we want to just kind of do the synopsis and then we'll get to the endings when we get to them? Or do you want to just go out the gate with the endings?
Well, there are different variations.
All right.
So how about we start with we save the different variations, like different endings for the end of things.
Okay. All right. So we'll
Because
just kind of branch off from the certain story moments.
yeah, pick up where we left off last episode and go from there.
All right, I'm cool with that because actually those big spots where the big choices are made, I just kind of wrote chat because like I knew that if I just followed it with what I'm doing, it was not going to be exactly what you did. In fact, I'm almost certain that our endings will be different because I don't think I picked the right ones to do. So yeah, we'll just begin where we left off the last time, leaving the Adler mansion, and 4 a.m. comes around. So, do you want to briefly mention what you changed at the Adler mansion?
Yeah, so I started up the game and I got a message. I got a message on a notification on my Switch saying there was a problem verifying certain things, that it wasn't designated as the. I was basically I was getting certain issues, problems, and when I just started the whole thing, it it started me at just getting into getting at the Adler estate,
Wow,
and
that's a big,
yeah,
like, that's like half the episode.
yeah, and
But I'm guessing you got to answer some questions differently.
yeah, I answered I answered the first one correct. The like the I got I for the first thing with the I Spy, heard radiation, went to the TV. Um, second question was I forgot.
The
I
knot
forgot.
one. It was the that painting of the knot at the top
Yeah,
left, I think.
yeah, and I didn't get that one, so Jonas got possessed instead of Nona,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, that was the big change because in what I had done previously, like the last time I played the game, it was Nona who got possessed.
Hmm. This is making me wonder something because when I did it, Ren got possessed. And I wonder if when I continue on, if something will be a little different for you. But I was gonna say I wonder I assume that like the good ending, the best of the best, you answer all of these questions correctly.
Yeah,
And maybe it like pleases the spirits that you're listening to them or that you're getting everything right. But I also maybe they just want to like yeah tell their story. So I think missing one automatically makes things a little different for us. But I also missed the what did I miss? Actually, did I get the? I might have lost two of them. I can't remember. I think I just lost Ren. But yeah.
oh no.
So then you continued on and nothing else really changed much.
Yes, aside from from them in the house, um, I just that little thread was the only thing that changed. So, post that or post that whole thing happening. Yeah, it was.
You're back in sync with me.
Yeah, yeah, kind of, because you said there are things that are possibly going to be different.
Right. Beginning with this first sentence. Leaving at 4 a.m., leaving the Adler mansion, Alex has a vision of Ren drowning. Did you?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So that didn't change that. I wondered if that would be different based on who got taken, but you also saw Ren drowning.
yeah, and yeah, Jonas is like he's not he doesn't really care, or he cares, but
He doesn't think much of it.
Yeah. And then I went. I thought this all happened by coincidence. I thought I was going one way, and I ended up narratively checking on Nona and Ren.
Yeah, I did the same thing because initially I started going like straight left, and I was like, "This isn't going to bring me to the woods."
Yeah. Also, the map, the in-game map, is not the best.
No. And I think that if you, go ahead.
I was going to say that it couldn't have hurt. It wouldn't have hurt to have the ability to zoom in.
Yeah, or really like done anything. I mean, the way that it's set up is like a paper map, but you can't really interact with it in any way. I do like that it scribbles out little things, and you can kind of really tell what the objective is, so you're not getting lost in that way. But it's not entirely connected, especially like the way that your lands that you're in separated by loading screens, if you're playing on a PlayStation 4 at least, and or a Switch, and they're like these kind of open segments, but then they move on to another one, and the woods itself is like 3 different panels of world. Like they're not, but on the map I think it just shows one. It's like the woods. So yeah, that's why I didn't go left, because it said like, I think it was going to bring me to the cliffs or something, the cliffside. And so I was like, no, I'm going to go straight up. And then you could go straight up, but you could either go left, which I forgot was going to bring you by the vault, or go right, which was going to bring you to that statue. And I just knew I was going like northwest. So I just did that. And yeah, then that kind of fed into Jonas as well. If you want to go back and check on him. so we did. So yeah, so Alex is a vision of Ren drowning. She feels it was as real as a time loop and tells him to be safe. So that causes Ren to get pretty scared. It causes everybody else to just kind of be like weirded out, kind of apathetic. It's weird. I don't know. They all just want to leave. Now that they know that they have an out off the island, they just want to leave. She and Jonas venture into the woods. This is Alex. Alex and Jonas venture into the woods, where they experience furniture strewn around, which they assume came from the anomalies.
Yeah, the weird chair.
Yeah, the weird chair. There was like an armoire. I mean, that kind of explains the armoire that's in the cave. Remember from the beginning, and then it came around again in this part.
Yeah.
But you still can't open it. Still can't do anything about it. And then furthermore, when I saw that quote again on the wall, which I think I still have written down here. See a man about a dog, and then saw the man, but not the dog. That whole thing never, at least in this playthrough, nothing came of that. I don't know what any of that means. Nothing was answered. I guess I will ask you, did you collect any of those Adler letters?
I collected maybe 1 or 2 more after. I think I uncovered maybe somewhere between 3 and 5, like total.
Okay, I don't know how many there are. I think I only got 1. But did you learn anything like of substance, or was it all just kind of some useless extra plot?
Yeah, actually, and honestly, I totally forgot about everything I was talking about last episode. So I did not do the job.
Well, wait, which job?
No. So I was still focused in on the radio stuff.
Okay, that's good. Trying to find those anomalies.
Basically trying to find those. No, actually, not even that. Just looking for like the media stuff, like that Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
one I sent you, which is crazy.
That's just an anomaly you found?
The specific part was It wasn't even an anomaly. It was more. It was just like stuff on the radio. So
Oh,
yeah. So it was like the specific line was,
"It would have been better had it never been found."
and yeah, it just ended up being like from a full on Sherlock Holmes mystery from the 40s, which again fits perfectly with everything with the game.
I do like. I mean, we've talked about it in the other episodes, but I really like those callbacks to
Time period that like the other time period.
Yeah, the time period and just like actual public domain bits
Media.
of media. Exactly. Yeah. It's very cool.
Actually, wait. I think I remember. I think actually starting the letter the Adler thing I found
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that, or one of the ones I found had to do with the woods area,
Okay.
that she had bought a certain stretch of land, and is responsible for the government abandoning the area, like the island.
Hmm.
But then mentions the encroaching tourist like whole side thing,
Mm-hmm.
and even mentions that one of the people, like one of the relatives of people killed or who died in the event, is catering to like opening a business to cater to the whole shtick with the island.
Okay, so it gave you some background on the way that the island was going.
Yeah.
Then I guess that's not really useless plot. It's establishing the lore of this island, which I don't know if you visit the same island in the sequel, but I doubt it. I bet that they would change up the scenery, but that is cool nonetheless.
Is that because there, when I was looking more into the different endings, not only I'll save that for the end of the wrap up.
The ending talk. Okay. Well then let's continue on. They see this furniture, like I said, and another time loop occurs. And Alex and Jonas find Nona crying over Ren's apparent death. Alex doesn't believe it really happened, and she is visited by the spirits, now possessing Jonas. They attempt to bargain with her, giving her the option to leave Clarissa with them, sacrificing her in order to gain their own freedom. So now I have chat. What did you do, Alan? What did you tell those spooky ghosts?
Oh, that I'm getting everyone. I'm getting everyone out. I'm getting everyone out of here alive.
Oh, naive Alan. I knew that I would have picked that in the first playthrough, so I said, "You can have her."
Oh my god. So
yes.
okay, now I know which ending you got, like which variation of the endings you got with Carissa.
Probably. But I don't know. I feel like it's different because I will once again mention, as I always do, the patron saint of this indie book club, Jacksepticeye, whose Let's Play we have been following. I watched his ending, and it had some very similar things, but we did not end with the same ending. So it really does rely on like all the choices you've made throughout and how you really play this finale. So I wouldn't predict just yet how my stats had looked at the end, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to play this a bit more mean-spirited and kind of just, like I said, very cynical about our situation. And so I was very standoffish with the spirits. I tried not to like seem scared by them in any of the ways. And I, just said, hey, that's fine. You do it. And then to go ahead a little bit, I then told Jonas as soon as we broke the time loop. And I then told Nona and Ren when we got to Caprid Station. And
I did that. I told them too.
About what? Oh, just about how you were visited.
I was upfront about everything, about how they made the different offers, or they made the offer. As soon as they departed, I went to turn to Jonas, said, "Hey, they offered a deal," and I said no. Then when I saw Ren and Nona, I basically said the same thing. So,
and they were probably pretty appreciative, right? Yeah, because you have your friends. Everybody loves you in your playthrough.
Yeah, seriously. Although on the Oxenfree subreddit,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, all they wanted to do was get with Nona.
Wow.
And a lot of
like as Alex.
Yeah, Dear Night School. This is from a specific Reddit user. Dear Night School, please patch for Lady Love. Signed, Reddit user. And another one. Another. I want to make kisses with Nona. Clarissa can come too, I guess.
Make kisses.
And then the best one. Seriously, the best one. Dear Night School. Another settlement needs our help. I'll mark it on your map. Preston Garvey, Minutemen. This is a legitimate comment.
What is that reference to?
To Fallout 4.
Okay,
Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because that meme was everywhere. But that's still everywhere. If anything, we're seeing a resurgence.
Jeez. Well, there you go. There's your crossover of you keep mentioning Fallout. There's your. It all comes to fruition there.
Well, actually.
Oh yeah, we're about to go into a vault. It's just gonna get further.
No, actually, a certain point, I thought I just felt like, oh, this is like the episode of Doctor Who. Or actually,
oh my god!
No, it's like that whole series of Doctor Who.
Well, as I was editing the last episode, you mentioned the Doctor Who episode, and then I don't think you really talked about how it was similar. But you were like, "Oh, remind me to mention this."
Yeah, so since we're getting closer, since this is the last episode, I can bring up that whole thing. So, shall I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So in Doctor Who Series 2 of the Revive series, the Doctor and Rose go to they find, or they arrive at a space station, or a space, like a base that on an asteroid, and it's a scientific like adventure, because the asteroid is, or no, it's actually more of technically a planet, but it's right below a black hole, and it's not being affected at all by the black hole. And there's a entity that is basically, it's the devil. That's basically more or less it's basically like taking it's basically it's basically the only Doctor Who episode to genuinely like freak people out in terms of existential horror, like cosmic horror.
Oh wow!
Because if you look up and like there's an image of the race that it comes back in Doctor Who called the Ood.
Okay.
They look very Lovecraftian in terms of their design, but like humanoid Lovecraftian stuff. So
these things.
yeah.
Yes, I do know them.
And
They're like always on the list of like scariest Doctor Who villains.
yeah, there's an episode where a guy where a terrible person becomes an Ood.
No.
No, he had it coming.
Yes.
The guy is basically slavery. So
No, that's not good.
yeah, so the 2 episodes, it was a 2-parter because that's Doctor Who still does 2-parters. It was the Impossible Planet, and I think the Demon Pit. And while the Doctor goes deep, like goes down into the center of the planetoid, and Rose, along with the people that are still alive, are trying to get out or trying to leave, and the demon, so to speak, is mentioning that it predates time, or predates the universe, and that it was imprisoned in at the right at the center, or right at the base of a black hole, so it can never leave, because if it were to leave, it would be swallowed up by the black hole, and it possesses one of the researchers who causes multiple characters to die within said episode. And yeah, the character, like the whole possession thing, I felt very strongly, just felt that had to have been an inspiration, or just had some type of influence, because it was far too similar.
That's interesting. Like, I definitely feel like this. I mean, you watched a documentary on Oxenfree. I did not, but
I didn't watch the entire thing because I didn't want to get spoiled. I'm actually going to watch it after we're done recording.
Okay.
Because I just need to, I'm interested to see the ideas that, the story behind the development and everything.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what their influences were. Like, I'd be. You always hear like people mention Twin Peaks when it comes to like,
well,
woodsy and just kind of trippy vibes, but this didn't really feel Twin Peaksy to me. But it's more science fiction. I know that everyone would say Twin Peaks is science fiction. I don't know.
The funny thing, there's a certain song that gets, or a certain song that appears throughout the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, yes, a certain, and I thought, and it just popped in my head. I'm getting a major Stranger Things vibe from this.
Yes,
like very a synth effect, like synth music-esque.
Yeah, the soundtrack to this game is phenomenal, and I think it was really definitely on display in this episode. Like, just something. Maybe it was because I was listening more, because I mean we're playing with the same map for the most part that we have the whole game, but when you go into like different areas, like the woods especially, is just some killer music. And yeah, you had shared that vinyl a little while back. I know it's like it comes and goes in terms of stock, but I might actually have to get that at some point, because it's a really good soundtrack that's just very synthy and atmospheric. And yeah, even if you didn't play the game, you might like this if you're into that kind of trippy electronic synth sound.
Alex, we know you're in charge and we know your plan, and we also know that your plan won't work. It never does. So we have a proposition for you. A deal. A bargain, really. And you should take it.
What on earth would give you the idea that I'm in charge? It's been like herding puppies the entire night, making anyone do anything.
Please drop the modesty. It's lying for no reason. It's already over, Clarissa. She's gone. We'll pilot her through the rest of existence, and there's nothing you can do to change that. But if you agree to let us take her, let her go quietly without fuss. You won't slaughter the rest of your friends, like young Reginald here.
And where are we from there?
Yeah. So we made our choices with the devil. And then I have the time loops again, and Alex talks with Nona about Ren. Then I have chat again, where we can briefly mention I so you may remember Nona ends up like this time loop breaks, Jonas is not there, and you start walking toward the bridge, and Nona is there crying. And you just talk to her, and I will say I completely disrupted the talking. And I feel like I missed out on a lot of. I mean, I ended up watching it later, but personally, for my playthrough, I think that was where I really severed it with Nona. I was like, well, I didn't console her. I didn't tell her anything about Ren, because this dialogue goes on to be like, oh, I hope he liked me. I hope he knew I liked him, and you can like comfort her.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I did not, or I consoled her, but I didn't know, like I didn't get any prompts afterward. So,
oh, all right, then let me jump ahead to something. Did Ren and Nona get together in your playthrough?
So that's the thing. Did that happen with you?
No. And I feel like they might have in my first time, but not this time. They were not together in the end, which is the minority according to the stats.
Yeah, I got the second variation.
Like what?
Ren,
Ren what?
the stuff at the band.
Oh, wait, I
What?
don't know what that is.
Yeah.
The stuff with the band? Oh yeah, because he was in a band.
No. This has to do with starting a band out west.
Oh, okay. That he like moved away.
Yeah, like how the whole experience just killed his love for the area.
Yes, and then did it end with he was my best friend and now I never talk to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. That hurt, definitely. Because I mean, I think it would hurt definitely more for you because you were trying to, play toward being friendly with him the whole time.
Well,
I was kind of like whatever, but personally I like him and I didn't want that to happen.
honestly, I think it was more to do with how I was being I was not being consistent with the dialogue because I can't read a room, even if it's a digital one.
Okay.
And yeah, this is a strange whole the way it's strange how they handled this whole thing.
Like the ending with the stats and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a polarizing end. I will give it that, but yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about that when we get to there. So yeah, so I guess neither of us really were much help to Nona when that went down.
No. I just said it's not your fault. Like I was just being as nice as possible. Like I was basically trying to be good and make kisses with Nona, so to speak. And that really,
yes, this is your moment.
No, honestly, a lot of people are really like seriously, I'm sorry I keep going back to the subreddit page, like this Reddit post, but a lot of people like Nona better than Jonas.
Wow. Well, I mean, Jonas, you're not going to get with Jonas, obviously, but I don't know. I can understand that wanting for representation. I think that that's interesting. Maybe there's other people, like other romance options in the sequel or something, but I never really thought about that with Nona. It was more, for me, I thought, why can't you like romance Ren? But it's because he wanted Nona. So the whole thing is basically like trying to get them together, which is hard. Like, how do you make these decisions to get your friends to get together? It just doesn't, it's very strange, but, sorry, Reddit. Sorry, things didn't work out for you, but I don't think 10 years later they're going to add that in. We're not going to get some Cult of the Lamb type patch where all of a sudden you can romance anyone. But I digress. And another weird thing about this is you never really understand by the end if that really is Nona, even. Like,
Yeah, like in the grand scheme of things, with all different realities or different timelines, which was which.
Yeah, like, are the possessions even really happening? Was that really Jonas getting possessed? I mean, in the end, when...
Yeah, he actually... Yeah, because he does mention... Like, you have the option to ask him...
At
like,
certain times, he acknowledges it.
No, I mean, he mentions... like, yeah, he acknowledges it. And did you ask him to, like, how it feels? Like, what happens?
Might have. I can't remember.
So what happened, or at least what happened with me, was I asked him. I was a little inquisitive, like asking, like, so what happened? Like, what exactly happens? He describes it as being asleep and everything, like the whole thing being a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And when I asked more, like when I chose the prompt to ask more, like to ask like anything else, and he just goes, like, it's basically just a dream. Like, as soon as I come back, it fades away. And I think Nona and Ren mentioned something similar.
Okay.
At a certain point.
I do remember Ren, like, after that first time you see the possession, when you're finding him in the woods, he mentioned something about it. I want to say he said that it was like your body was filling with fire or something, but maybe I'm making that up. But yeah, so I guess if you're good, we'll continue on.
Oh god, there's another secret ending.
Another one? Jesus. Well,
it has to do with getting all the Adler letters.
Oh no. I wondered if that would happen.
Yeah,
save it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
If you find all the Adler letters, in a few there are mentions of the crew members of the ship.
Okay.
And you can say that to make them remember themselves, and you'll get a different ending.
Get out. You can like address them when talking to them?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That's crazy. Oh, there's so much to this freaking game.
And I now know there's a canon ending too that I just learned. Which one? What's the canon ending of the game? All of this one Oxenfree like subreddit post.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's not good.
Wow.
Huh. Oh man. Oh.
Well, we will get to those shortly. Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay.
Because now for a while it's I don't think that there's really much choice for a little bit. But after stopping the loop, Jonas and Alex continue to Catbird Station. Ren and Nona are heard on the radio, alive and well. Alex activates the door to the vault, and on the journey back, Alex falls into another flashback. So she finds herself at 6 p.m. last year. Now we started at 5 a.m. Now we're going to 6 p.m. 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. last year. Sorry. Alex and Michael are walking through the woods, talking about his future plans. They speak of college and Clarissa, and strangely, This conversation feels reminiscent of one a certain specter had warned you about. Alex wakes up at 5:30 a.m., present day, and she and Jonas head to the vault. Alex hugs the gang, and they take a picture together.
Did you
Before
hug
I-
everyone?
Yes, I did, and surprisingly, Nona hugged me back, which I thought was a nice little touch because I feel like there's no
Real connecting. Like
Yeah.
there's also like, I mean, aside from the game saying that you're all friends, as I said, when I chose the option, and when I picked the option to take Nona with me rather than Jonas or Ren,
Mhm.
Nona is the one character out of this entire cast who has barely any development.
Right.
Even Adler, despite being a very plot central character, I don't know.
Adler doesn't even show up, and we know more about her than we do Nona. All we know about Nona is the whole birthday party thing. That's like the only thing that we learn about her.
And that Ren likes her.
And that Ren
Like-
likes her. Exactly. So, like, she got super pissed when I mentioned the Clarissa thing, which I mean, they're best friends, but I don't know why, because Clarissa's a total ass, and Nona is not. But
So wait, what do you mean? Oh, when you told her that you let them?
yeah, gave her up.
That didn't happen, obviously, because I didn't choose that. I didn't choose that option. I was like, I just said they offered a deal, and I said no, we're gonna get everyone back. I'm gonna right the ship, and yeah, that whole thing plays out, or at least I know. I've since learned why. Like we find out why Clarissa doesn't like or has that falling out with Alex, like the specific reason, as we later on.
I wonder why. Well. But yeah, so yeah, Nona in my playthrough, she was immediately angry, and even when we did the hugging, she had like her arms crossed and looked reluctant too. But like I was saying, I like the fact that they put like this option to still hug everybody, because I feel like that is very realistic of like, well, we could die. Like I'm mad at you right now, but you could die when you go in there, and I don't want to, like, just give everybody a hug. So I like that moment. And then with the picture, they take a picture together, and obviously that picture also changes, I think, between like what they all look like and how distressed people look. And she was pretty irritated in mine too. I assume she wasn't irritated in your picture.
Yeah, the whole time I was just very sure that I was gonna get. I was expecting everything to go terribly wrong. Like I was expecting everyone to die.
Oh, geez. Well, it's weird. Like, I mean, not to jump ahead and spoil it, but yeah, I don't think there's one where everybody dies. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's an even worse ending than what I got. But it seems like from what it looks like, things kind of turn out okay, seemingly. At least in this first one, in this first loop. But we'll get there. So, Alex and Jonas enter the vault, and Jonas is distracted by a familiar song. Having heard it before on the island, this song from his youth brings back memories of his mother. So once again, I alluded to it earlier, but I will say it now. These are these choices that you are given by that mirror image, which I'm not going to explain yet what the mirror image is. I will get to that when we do. We're almost there.
There's always a lighthouse.
There's always a lighthouse. But these choices, like the Michael talk in the flashback about college, or Clarissa, And now the thing about letting Jonas talk to his mother. That was a question that was brought up earlier, and we didn't know at the time what this meant, and now we're being faced with should we or should we not? And mine, at least, had said, let him. And so I did. Did you let Jonas talk to his mom?
No.
Or really, you tried to like pull him back from it?
Once he asked once he asked me to like use it or to activate the get the thing going, he was enthralled by it, and because I saw because it had like the red
Oh
light,
yeah,
the
radio.
I said I was just trying to get him away from it, and he was starting to get a little angry, saying, or fed up, saying, "You've been using that radio the whole time we've been here, and now you won't even do anything for me."
Oh.
So what I did was, while he was trying to, like, I eventually got him away from it, but yeah, it was.
So then, does he still disappear?
When you go into the cave?
Yeah, like when you walked into the cave, was he still with you?
I think so. Yeah, he was.
And then does he come into the cave with you?
So what happened was we walked into the cave. We see Clarissa.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, she basically does she's saying that it's like there's no it's like don't basically the villain monologue on behalf of the spirits. And then Jonas is asking me if I have a plan, and I was saying not any earthly plans.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I said I have all types of plans, none of them earthly. And he goes, "Do you have any non-earthly plans then?" And I said, "I don't know." And then I basically just used the radio to connect the triangles. And then instead of it being the way it was, like instead of one triangle, it turned to a whole tree.
Okay.
Thing, like so.
Yes, and then just keep walking me through it. So then, where do you end up in this?
I end up. Okay, let me try to recollect this.
Do you end up in a dark space?
I end up in a dark space, yes.
With yourself, and then the voices start talking to you as like lights surround the dark space.
I believe so.
All right. And then does it kind of just culminate in the fact that you left yourself in there alone to save your friends?
No.
Okay. So where does that branch off? You're in the dark space.
Clarissa shows back up, trying to like say that you're like you lost. And as she's talking, I turn on the radio, and I start hitting the signals, like and closing everything. And basically, from there, I go to. I'm gonna have to look up because I don't remember if it was like, or okay. I go from here. I went to different points with the mirror.
Oh, okay. All right. So yes. So we're there. We're okay. So did you, before we get to that mirror bit, did you have a point where you could leave Clarissa behind or like leave yourself behind?
No.
Okay. Were you ever faced with the choice, like the dialogue choice that said,
"This is for my friends,"
or something?
Oh, I did it for Jonas.
Okay. Excellent. So that is exactly where I was.
Okay.
And I wondered if we would do this same thing, simply because I knew that you were using the radio the whole time. Like the radio was your guide, and that's great. It works well with you. For my playthrough, I feel like I took some kind of coward's way out by using the radio. because in mine, I mean, you just basically said all of it, but I'll just briefly say, when I did Jonas's song, Jonas wanted to hear his song. I said, "Sure thing, Jonas, you follow mommy into that void," and he did, and he disappeared. He got sucked away into some spirit realm.
Yeah,
And I
because
was like,
that did not happen at all to me.
okay. So I was like, Jonas, where'd you go? All right. Well, I got to do this. I got to get this done. So I go into the cave and I see Clarissa there, and I just immediately whip out the radio. Like, we're doing this. And I think she said something like, "Oh, you and your radio. All right. You're doing this? Fine." And I opened up that triangle. I got the tree of triangles.
Just sent you something. I think that
Oh,
I think is accurate of what went on.
yes, precisely. So I open up the tree of triangles, and then, yes, I'll put this on the screen for anyone who's watching the video. And then it just kind of went black. And it was like, there was certain dialogue options, but I was really just doing the radio so fast that for some reason I thought this was the way to fight the boss. Like, it's not going to tell you to take out your radio, so naturally you're just going to want to fight her with the radio. But the game does punish you for doing this because, as I have seen, and you have probably seen with other ways, if you talk your way out of it, like you talk to her, you talk to the spirits, you have the option to leave and leave her behind. I don't know if you can take her out of there, but at the very least, like, a portal opens and you can get out of there without her. And yeah, instead I chose to just stick with this radio until I ended up in a dark void. And in so many words, the spirits told me that I was stuck here in this like limbo world. And my answer was, I did it for my friends. And not that it has any bearing on the story, but you get your final words before it all goes dark. And yeah, that was my final boss battle there. I felt kind of unfulfilled in a way, but I know that I did better the first time I played it, and I think that the fact that there's so many different ways to play this is a testament to itself.
That's how things ended for you?
So then I go to the mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah. Which the mirror thing, which I will shift into now. The mirror thing seems to be a thing that happens for everybody. And obviously we are given choices again, but this isn't choice based. Like, you make your decision with that. I'll call it the boss fight in the cave. And then the mirror segment happens. So here you are given the biggest plot twist, I would say, of Oxenfree, which is the fact that you are put in the position of 3 different people's games, not live, because they are just, I mean,
that's not how the game works.
It's not how the game works, and I'll tell you at the very end how I know that is not. But you are put in like a ghost form to the other people's games, and you learn that, yeah, when you were talked to at the side of the river, at the side of the lake, and in the mirror when Jonas was in the Fort Milner, trapped in that room, and at the mirror at the Adler Mansion, those were all other people's games with other people's choices answering what the answers you received. And now, based on your experiences, you are able to tell someone else in another game what they should say when they are confronted with the flashbacks to talk about Michael, to talk to Michael, and to talk to Jonas with this his mom's song thing. So it's really cool. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually thought I ended up doing things, I ended up going a completely different route.
Okay.
I thought that was actually plot sense. I thought that part was integral to the plot. I thought in order to fix the loop, I had to
Make the right choices.
I thought I had to repeat the choices I had heard, so everything wraps up in a nice little bow.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No. So you chose the answers you had been given
Well,
that you remembered.
yeah, I chose the answers I'd been given. Yeah. Or the choices I've been given, I gave those as I basically just did the same thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, essentially, theoretically,
It's meant to be
those
played twice.
correct. However, in theory, those answers will lead a person to like get the best ending if you make
Yeah.
those choices. If you don't, like, obviously, I was told to tell Jonas to talk to his mom in my story by someone else's game. And then when I got to that point, I let him do that. And seemingly, at this point in time at least, I had lost Jonas. So
Well,
I didn't know how that was going to have an effect on my ending, but
so
I thought, well, they must know.
yeah, because the three specific ones I was like the three ones I was given. Don't pressure Michael or something. It was like
Okay, I kind of remember that.
I think basically I just got the don't parts, the don'ts. Like don't let Michael talk to his mom, or not Michael. Don't let Jonas talk to his mother or to his mom. And I honestly forgot the third one.
I assume it was like, don't let him go with Clarissa, or don't influence him on college or something.
Yes, don't influence him.
Yeah. I think I said don't influence him. But it was also like it's based on the experiences that you make, which is really neat to me.
It's gonna sound terrible, but I feel like this game would have been perfect if it had been around if it had been around 20 years ago.
Okay.
Because like if it had been either a computer, like if it had been at least at the very least a 16-bit game,
Mm-hmm.
like if it had been around the same time as there's the Super Nintendo or the Game Boy, it basically the prime time of, or the apex of like schoolyard rumors.
Yes.
Like the classic thing that we've been that iconic thing that everyone has been told, that the kid in the playground said,
My uncle works at Nintendo.
or the one I was told, my mom works at the Yu-Gi-Oh card manufacturer. If you give me your cards, she'll make them better.
Oh my god. I hate when you tell that story. It makes me so fucking sad. That is the worst thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the perfect kind of thing for that
Yeah,
rumor mill.
actually, yeah, because it would been perfect. Not even the Nintendo thing, or not even the my uncle works at Nintendo. It would have fit in perfectly with the whole situation surrounding Mew in Pokemon Red and Blue,
Mm-hmm.
where it was you had to do, like, there was the whole thing you had to do, like a whole set of things you had to do before possibly encountering him. There's a slight chance, and obviously it would have been wouldn't have been possible back then, because it'd have to be like the technology was not sophisticated enough.
Right.
If it's just one of those things where it would have been interesting to see, like, that it's a great feature that I would like to see done, have different studios, or different games, different, not even different brands, different games, have their own spin on.
Yeah, I mean, it's spoilers for the hit indie gem Journey.
I've
You
already played
played-
Journey. I've already played
Okay,
Journey. I think we have
But-
a long play. I think we have a video up on the YouTube channel of me playing Journey, like me recording it, because I know that it's mainly like a solo experience, but there is a point where another person jumps in, like a
Right.
stranger.
and you never know that
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
someone else.
You think, because you think the game, it's the best. It's a great kept secret that that person that fellow journeyman. No, that's an actual person. Haha.
Right.
Put on the clown nose. You already got the red hair. Put on the clown nose.
And I think right there it's live, right? Like they're playing with you live.
Yeah, because
They've got it because you play off each other.
yeah, like even in the video I recorded, like I'm pretty sure it's on the channel. And in the game, in the gameplay, I noticed like the way the play, you can even tell just from the way the player, like that other character is interacting with you, and he's just acting in general. And though honestly, the way I figured out that it was another person was simply from the fact that said player was acting as exactly how a fellow player would act.
Hmm.
And by that I mean just bolting it, trying to get not interact at all, and just try to go ahead and do their story, get their story done.
Right, because to them they're doing their own thing as well.
Yeah, and I think I was playing very this, technically I was still doing certain ways, or certain styles I was doing, but the main thing I kept doing was I was actually ironically playing Journey, that particular section, as I look like I would probably look like an NPC based on how I was acting.
And I mean, it's funny, I don't know if I even want to be here next year. It's just all so flat. Same people, the same expressions.
Well, if you leave, I'd certainly miss you.
Yeah, no, I'd miss you too. It's just that everybody here knows me, you know? I know you think I have it on easy street, but people looking at you all the time, wanting evidence that it's good, that they lived here, that good things can happen to people that are from here, it can get to be a real drag. Like, how about somebody else be captain of whatever for once? Give me a rest.
You are great, though, and you're gonna be great whatever you do. I'm sure of it.
You got spunk, kid.
Yeah, well.
Well, I think that it's just a fun little detail that adds a layer of meta to the fact that there are ghosts in this game, because there's literally multiplayer ghosts, and it's just a really neat detail, and I totally had forgotten about it. So, I mean, by the time you play Oxenfree again in the future, maybe you'll have forgotten about it again, and
Okay.
you can be like me.
I found the video of
On the
Journey.
channel.
Yeah,
Nice. I will link it in
no.
the description.
Please do. It has no views.
Well, go and watch that. Watch it. Come on.
God, early parts of our channel were strange.
Well, please go and watch it and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because hell, you may be listening to it right now when you're watching this, or watching it when listening to. Subscribe. Anyway, I'm going to move on because we still have a ways to go, and we want to, well, not too crazy, but we've hit over an hour, so let's see what we're doing. So as I said, Jonas vanishes, blah, blah, blah. Alex continues on. Alex brought 3 particular moments of her journey, and she's able to ask the questions once asked her by the aforementioned specters. Waking up in her old house, Alex meets with Michael, who gives her one last choice. Should he stay or should he go with Clarissa? Alex says goodbye to her brother and awakens on the ferry. So, I mean, the only other thing I have chat, and then I have we are given stats about our journey and a where are they now segment. The cycle then repeats. So, being able to put my phone down, let's discuss the way that this game ends. So, not much is to be said, I don't think, about that final Michael flashback. I guess I'll just ask, did you tell him that he should go with Clarissa? Or that he should... Okay. I did too. I feel in a previous episode, you and I kind of nurtured the way that we talked about our brother and their relationship. You had also mentioned that you kind of draw on personal experience, which is awesome. And in a way I do too. We both got siblings, and the way that you would want to talk to them about their growth in life and where they're going to go and what they're going to do. And you don't want to naturally, I feel you don't want to put them down, though this game is a bit of a challenge because we see in the present day, Clarissa is a dick to us. So it's like, why would you want to say, go for it? But you don't want to be rude. At least we didn't. And I think that that's cool that we both came to that consensus of like, you know what? Let him do his thing. He's not us. And
so, my viewpoint was that whole thing of like Michael saying he wants to leave, he wants to move away to marry Clarissa. I'm basing that whole experience, that whole part, as to why Clarissa has the attitude towards Alex she has in the beginning and at the start of the story.
Okay. Why is that?
Because remember, she says that, or Clarissa says that, when Clarissa mentions that Alex is the reason Michael died, that there's that she probably that she's guilty, that she's guilty for killing, or she led to Michael's death, and also the death to the life that Clarissa and Michael would have had she not had that whole unfortunate thing had not happened.
Okay, so are you saying you think that by saying he should go with her, you're breaking that cycle of his death? Or do you think you're putting it in motion?
No, I think that I'm just basing that. I'm just assuming that that's why Clarissa has the attitude towards Alex she has in the beginning of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess personally, I would feel like if it had actually happened that Alex thought, yeah, go be with your girlfriend, Clarissa would be a bit more open to us. But perhaps because we are kind of starting something new with these choices being made, in a second playthrough, maybe Clarissa acts totally differently. I don't know. I've never done that back-to-back second play, so I don't know if her demeanor changes in any way. But that would be cool if things like that actually did impact your relationship with her. But alas, after that,
7 a.m.
First he says goodbye to her. He says he loves her. It's like this nice little moment where you get your final moments with your brother before who knows what's going to happen. But you wake up at 7 a.m. on the ferry, and you're leaving the island. And my crew is Ren, Nona, Clarissa, and myself, and Jonas. All five of us are there. Was everybody there on your ferry?
Yeah.
All right. Was Michael?
No, I did not. I did not resurrect Michael or get him back.
Okay, which I am fine with. Like,
I didn't know that was an option.
I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't either. And when I, not to mention him again, but when I went to look at the Jacksepticeye ending, he had Michael, and it just changes the whole dynamic of everything, because in his, like, Clarissa never existed. None of them knew her.
Yeah. So the whole thing is sacrificing her and erasing her from the timeline, and no one remembers her.
Which is crazy, because
You should have gotten that. You should have gotten that ending.
Yeah, I did that.
Variation. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, like that. I just think that's crazy that there's an ending where, like, there's even an ending where Jonas and Michael exist in the same, like, they're on the boat. They're there as well. Like, both of them are there.
Yes, so that was the Jacksepticeye one. That it was Michael and Jonas, and Ren had brought Jonas, and, like, Alex is kind of like,
Nice to meet you.
Yes, but also is alluding to the fact that was that, like, there's a line where she's like, but he's my stepbrother, and everyone's like, whoa, you just met him tonight. And then it's like this weird ending where they're kind of like friends, but she always has these memories that Jonas is her brother. Like, it's super, that's super weird, and I would not want that.
You know what that is? That is
What?
that is the Life is Strange sacrifice Arcadia Bay option.
Like the
or no, that's not even that. That's the Life is Strange comic. because like that's just Max in the alternate timeline with Chloe and Rachel.
True.
Oh god, I gotta read that again. It's
I gotta read more of it. I think I only read the first book.
Dust?
Yeah, I think I finished that.
Such a good one.
So I wonder if they'll have any kind of tie-in to the new one.
There's a whole time we're going to talk about that.
Oh my god. Anyway, I don't know. There's just so many different endings to this, and it's really crazy. Like, I wouldn't want it any other way than what I have. I mean, obviously, the thing that really screws it up is, oh man, I'll jump to it real quickly by just saying the fairy thing happens, and then it seems that everybody kind of, like, Nona suggests they take a picture, and then Ren repeats the line that he repeated at the beginning of Alex waking up, and she realizes that this kind of looped. And it's a fun little ending that's like it's just cliffhangery enough to feel like a mystery thriller film. But then it goes to this epilogue, and you get these, like, stats about your journey, and I feel like that ruined it. Like, I really would have just loved that ending, but those stats really, like, I didn't need this "where are they now" thing, because it just ruined my perception of so many characters.
So I didn't see anything any stats.
What?
Yeah, there are no stats whatsoever. It was literally just the epilogue with the character ended up doing, and I didn't get anything because I think it's because I was playing on Switch.
Well, that's weird, because okay, tell me again, did your Switch version say a Netflix studio at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, because I could have sworn that the original version of this did not have a pie chart. But when Jacksepticeye played it like 7 years ago, it did have a pie chart. I don't remember that from the beginning, from the first time. But now I wondered if it was like a newer update type of thing than when I first played, because I really played this game like close to when it came out. So I don't know what the deal of that is, but be happy you didn't have a pie chart, because it really just, similarly to the Telltale things, which I used to like screenshot all of those Telltale stats, and I just thought it was so fun to see like what I chose versus other decisions. But something about this time, it was like, I don't need to see the fact that 17% of people like didn't, or with the Nona and Ren getting together, I was in like the 40% of not getting them together, and it was just wild.
Okay, so it turns out that it's a Switch thing because Lost Signals doesn't have the pie charts either.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I hate that pie chart thing.
You know, this is very ironic. I actually really liked it. I really like that whole gimmick.
Okay. Well, did you like the pie charts aside? Did you like the little explanations they gave?
Yeah, there are games that I like, but at least with this, like obviously there's a sequel, and we'll get to that. I don't like it when games end, like games like this end, and they just let it breathe, let it simmer, or let it sizzle on the photo and then credits.
Okay.
I like the sense of the story is told, like everything's over, like this, like that you're just done what you're done, like just to quote Ferris Bueller, this is over, go home, movie's over.
You want a closure. You want closure to your story.
Which is
Okay.
actually which is complete antithesis of how I prefer to experience my stories, whether they're video game variety, movie variety, TV show variety. Like there are certain episodes of like there are a lot of TV finales like series finales I've never seen.
Okay, because you don't want that to end.
Yeah.
But with something like this that felt like a short little ride, you want that closure.
Yeah. Just to bring it back to Life is Strange, the farewell episode from Before the Storm. I still have yet to play. I have yet to play it, and I don't think I'm ever going to play it.
Wow. Yeah, the farewell episode is weird because it's like a prologue, but it serves as like a love letter to the ending of their story.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird catch-22 of what you're getting out of it. But I get that.
Especially since it's a different studio as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which more on that on a different podcast.
I get that, and I understand people who are like that. I mean, my fiance's favorite book is Inkheart, and she's read that first book like hundreds of times, but there's 2 more in the series, and she like has refused to read them for years because she's like, I just want to live in this little world. I don't want to know if any of these characters die. I don't want to know any more expansion to them. I just want them as they are. And in a way, that is how I felt with Oxenfree, with the ending. It was just kind of like the cut to title screen before the epilogue. Because I was just like, this is cool. We're all on our way back. The mystery is like over, but is it really? ? And then it was it. And I was happy with that. But the reason I didn't like the epilogue was because it went down the line of characters, and I learned that every way I thought I left everyone was completely wrong. And they were like, nobody talks to Clarissa anymore. She moved away. No one talks to her. Ren moved away. I don't talk to him. And then Jonas, the pie chart told me that we were living our life, like we were keeping, Alex keeps her brother at a distance. And it was like, Jonas, we'll see each other on Thanksgiving. And wow, I was like,
none of that happened. Well, some of that may happen. Maybe not. Well, maybe one of those things happened to me, but
I was just astounded because I was like, Jonas and I have been thick as thieves this whole freaking game. Like we have not done anything really apart except for that comms tower bit when I just thought I'll bring Nona. But like I let him talk to his mom, and then after the thing where he showed back up on the ferry, he kind of talked about how he lived this little moment in time, I think he said with his dad. And it was just like I gave him this moment because I let him chase the song, and there was just no time where I felt Jonas and I were at odds, except for when I said that I sold Clarissa to the devil. But like, dude, get over it. She's back. So even Clarissa didn't cause a problem. I just kind of apologized to her, and it was like whatever. But I was just so mad with the way that they made me lose Jonas.
So can I say how things ended up for me?
Please.
Okay, so Ren and Nona don't get together.
Okay.
Ren ends up leaving the town to go to school in California. The whole experience kind of soured his view, his love, his appreciation of the whole area.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex doesn't know if she'll see him again.
So we got that the same.
I made up with Carissa. She got a dog and is going to school studying literature.
Wow. That's crazy.
Jonas, and I'm reading this from the Oxenfree subreddit, from the Oxenfree subreddit page about all the different ending variations.
Okay.
You bond with your new stepbrother, Jonas. Alex accepts Jonas as part of the family and refer to each other as siblings without the step.
Wow. See, that's what I wanted, and I thought we were on the right path, Jonas. The hell?
Yeah, so here's what happened. There was a diff. So on the ferry, it was Jonas who had that special moment, or was it everyone else?
Which special moment?
So here's what happened, at least with me. When Alex woke up on the boat,
Mm-hmm.
Clarissa was mentioning she got to see her older sister.
Oh no. No.
So that none of that happened for you?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think it did. She
So-
might have talked about what it was like to be possessed, but I don't remember that. Was it in a good way? Like a
Yeah, it
good
was good.
memory?
Yeah, I think even Nona mentions, like, there, prior to taking the photo, there's an option to say that, like Alex mentioned, calls the whole thing like I think it was either like a final goodbye or like a gift.
Okay.
And yeah, it was that the whole thing took me by surprise, specifically the Clarissa part, even though it really shouldn't have, because I was trying to I think this has to do with the people pleasing personality, or part of my personality.
Okay.
Um,
You wanted everyone to just hug it out, make up.
yeah, which is why I wasn't like excommunicating anybody. I was trying to like doing this like, no, for the good of all, for the good of the whole,
Yeah.
to quote that specific episode of Stargate Destiny, where Rush and the Colonel decide to put aside differences for the sake of the crew.
You've come to close the hole, right, though? Well, you're gonna find out it's not that simple. The horses have already left the barn.
Or you could just, leave. You know, there's still time to not be complete monsters about this and do the right thing here.
The right thing? Oh, I'm sure it's very easy for someone like you to dictate terms when you've never really been challenged. God, you're so spoiled. You don't even know the cost of things. Closing the hole with your stupid... Oh, getting started already. Okay, you want to play chicken with the void? Fine. We can see how long you stay on the throttle.
Well, I wish that had worked out for me. I'm real sad. I'm big sad about that.
So I have some leech strats.
Yes, throw your strats at us before we leave.
You bring Michael back to life by encouraging him to stay in town every time you talk to him, so the drowning accident never happens.
Ah, so you have to nurture that whole side of it.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
And can I mention the part that was recently mentioned by the OP of this thread?
Okay.
7 days ago. Yeah, so that final line from Alex always suggests a sort of a new time loop. And yeah, basically the loop. Yeah, the whole gang, they're trapped in the anomaly. So the time loop ending is canon.
Yeah. So you're saying the fact that it starts again, that like you're supposed to play it again.
No. The loop. No, not even that you're supposed to play it. You're supposed to play it again. The time loop ending, where Alex says, Brett, or she's about to say,
Wait, didn't you?
Cheese!
and gets cut off.
Yeah.
That whole thing, not the second ending.
Oh, that is the canon ending.
It seems to be the canon ending.
The fact that she catches Ren repeating himself.
That the whole, like the first, not the first playthrough. The first playthrough is canon.
Yes. Okay. All right. I get that. So the fact that you get to go back doesn't actually change the canon.
Yeah. This is from user from underscore or Reddit user rip underscore CPU.
Okay.
So just shouting them out for doing a lot of heavy lifting from what I've been saying. Even though the thing is, you're not even playing as this whole gang in the sequel.
Yeah, no, you play as completely new people.
Yeah, it's same island, different people.
Oh, okay. And you're not happy about that?
No, I'm happy. That's unironically, or I just found this out while we were recording that it's this whole thing, but I'm glad because there was an ending rather than, or an ending that was my own, that I made, like that I made decisions and got a good ending where everyone survived. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh, go ahead.
There is actually a Twitter post.
Ooh.
That the Night School Studio account put out. Yeah, there's a whole thing of the hint to get the secret ending. You have to get Jonas and Nona together.
Jonas and Nona?
Yeah.
Get out.
And you want to hear the funny thing about it? Had to do with a certain source.
Okay.
And you can actually you can ask Jonas if he likes Nona.
Huh.
And said it links to a YouTube video.
Yeah.
The channel Geek Remix.
What?
The account you sent, you linked to me for that Oxenfree cameo or link or Easter egg in Life Strange 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they had found this secret thing.
No, not even found. Like they actually contacted like Mari, who's like the person from the channel, contacted developers who told her about the hidden, like there's even a hidden Morse code in one of the game's tracks. So what I'm trying to say is get Sean Krenkel and Adam Hines on every mystery game from now on. Give it all to them.
They know how to write a damn good story.
And Adam Hines knows how to make good art.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, anything that I had to say has just gone away. I love this game. I really enjoyed playing it again. I don't think that I want to go and replay it, especially like you talk about your burnout.
Yeah,
I don't want to go and
it's basically it's not even burning out. It's like having a great piece of like a great meal, and then doubling down for second breakfast.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing to repeat it. I just feel, and it's a good size to repeat it, but I'm not going to go and do it immediately. And
I might
will.
I might just play. No. I was gonna say I might. I actually no. I wasn't even gonna say I might go back and play the game. I was actually gonna say I might just go and play After Party after this, or not after.
Oh,
Like that might be the next like thing I play.
it certainly should be, because it is a fun ride, and it's really just it's more comedy, fun characters in this exact same, like, well, it's very similar art style and gameplay, and just it's so good. It's like they learned everything that they learned on Oxenfree, they amplified it. After Party is so much fun, and I highly recommend it. So I mean, I won't, to wrap this up, I won't spoil the what happens when you break the time loop. I will say, if you want to go and look it up, you can. If you want to go and play it, you should, because that will be the true ending. I am fully acknowledging we did not get that true ending, and I apologize that we're not going to do more episodes on it and talk about that true ending, but we have addressed some secret endings, some Easter eggs, some little things here that you may not get, various choices. And yeah, the last little thing that I was going to say was, as those credits roll, it tells you people at. So I went to go and look back on it because I had recorded my gameplay. Excuse me. And I didn't recognize the people that were mentioned, but in the Jacksepticeye video, he looked at the credits, and it said that his 3 ghosts were people that he was friends with on Steam. So I don't know for certain if it draws from your friends specifically and puts their ghosts into your game, but in the credits, it says like who plays what characters, and then it tells you which gamer tags were playing as those ghosts. And I thought that was like a really neat, it pulls back the curtain on what was going on there if you weren't getting it before. But it's pretty cool to think that now someone's going to have my handle in their game when my ghost makes its way into theirs. Maybe it's your game. But yeah, very fun all in all. I am super glad that you had a good time with it, Alan. Would you rate it higher than Thomas Was Alone?
Yeah.
Really? Well, there you go. That makes me happy. It very much does, because as I always say, I want to deliver these games that people have not played and you have not played to you, and
Also,
we get to chat about them.
I don't think we talked about the cast, like the voice cast.
Mm-hmm.
This is an all-star cast.
Were there other things? I didn't go and look them up.
So Alex is played by Aaron Yvette, who played Snow White in Wolf Among Us.
Oh, wow.
Vicky Vale in the Batman, first Telltale Batman.
Oh, she's a Telltale vet.
Molly in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Shale in Horizon Forbidden West. Jonas is voiced by Kenny from Walking Dead. Gavin
No
Hammond.
way.
The magical mirror in Wolf Among Us.
Oh, wow. That's so funny, because Kenny, like, I remember you shared a video once of Kenny's voice actor, and he's like so young, but he's able to make a voice that sounds like it comes out of Kenny, and then he can play Jonas.
Yeah, because like I shared it because he's an X-Men 97.
Oh, okay.
And Avatal Ash is the voice of Clarissa.
She sounded kind of familiar.
She's in After Party.
Oh, as a main character?
I think so. She's also she's been on the show Cake on FX, Barry on HBO, Nona though, voiced by Brittany Johnson,
Okay.
who is Angel in the Borderlands games.
Oh, okay. I think I know that character.
It's yeah. If you look at a picture of her, you'll know who she is.
Hmm.
Yeah, I felt the cast should be mentioned because they did tremendous work.
Yeah, no, it really their chemistry is so great, and it just feels like you're watching a movie the whole time. Like there's nothing cringy, there's nothing that feels out of place.
It felt, you know what it felt like? A modern LucasArts or adventure game from that era of like Day of the Tentacle, Full
Yeah.
Throttle, like, or even it's like it's basically like, or you can make a case that Telltale just being there was like, since those devs were spawned, like those are former LucasArts devs from that era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's damn good.
The original cast is in like the cast of Oxenfree is in Lost Signals.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
They show up somehow. I was gonna say that I was looking up Clarissa's actress, and it brought me to After Party, and it
Yeah.
is just made for you. I mean, it's got Aaron Yvette in it again, but I forgot Dave Fenoy's in it, and your girl Ashley Birch is in it as like a main character. Like, just yeah, you're gonna love After Party.
Yeah. Well,
It's a
I mean,
damn good time.
I still have to like I'm trying to finish up certain games in my backlog that I'm close to finishing. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'm near I'm on the tail end of Mafia Definitive Edition. So
Oh,
then I jump back to try to finish Horizon Forbidden West.
oh, the didn't you finish First Horizon?
No, Forbidden West
Oh, okay. Well, that's a big undertaking to jump into.
on PC.
Nice. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what my next backlog will be. But I'm going to return a Gamefly tomorrow and maybe, hopefully, get Banishers. So hopefully I can play that.
Don't forget though. Actually, no, but I just realized that this by the time this comes out, the next fest will be probably been way over.
Yeah, I'll have to, I got to get on some Next Fest stuff. Yeah, it's a rough time. But hey, speaking of backlogs, we do have an idea for the next indie book club. I will say it's not starting next week. It won't start for a bit of time. Might even take a month off. I don't know. But you'll see it at some point in this exact same feed. So you should follow it if you haven't yet. If you're watching on YouTube, you should subscribe as always. But our next indie book club, you suggested it, Alan, and I think it's a wonderful idea.
Because it's also a game I have not played, despite me owning it on virtually every platform.
Me as well. And strangely enough, I've played Transistor. I have played the soccer game, Pyre, but I have not ever played Bastion by Supergiant? No? Star Breeze? Supercell?
Supermassive?
Supermassive?
Supergiant and Supermassive get confused or get mixed up. So it's either, I think it's Supergiant.
Is Supermassive the Until Dawn?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, they're the Quarry people.
Either that or we're just getting it, the whole thing. We're either getting one, we're just thinking one, we're just thinking one is the other, and it's just we're taking that route.
Yes, Supergiant, makers of Bastion, Pyre, Transistor, and both Hades games. Yeah, I love Transistor. I love it to death. Pyre is very fun, another game that relies on replaying it, and so I kind of fell off of it. But Bastion is a short little narrative adventure thing that is just one of those indie darlings. It's from 2011, so we're going back even further than Thomas Was Alone, and it's going to be a blast. So I'm very excited. I did start Bastion once on my iPad, and I'm not going to play it there because I think I own it on PlayStation, so I will probably play it there. But yeah, thank you for that suggestion. It's wonderful. And you will see that when it comes around. So, any last words, Alan Muir, on Oxenfree before we send it into the void?
Well, at least, actually, no. I was gonna say at least it's a good thing I chose Bastion to be the next game, because I was honestly gonna suggest Wallace and Gromit's Grand Adventures.
Jesus. The day we play a Wallace and Gromit game on this channel is the day I resign.
Why don't you like Aardman?
I will not play a Wallace and Gromit game. Maybe I will play a Wallace and Gromit.
Hey, I know. Actually, you know what? I don't even know. It may have been delisted again, so who knows? No. It's on Steam. $15.
$15?
Yeah, $14.99.
Someday I will have you, Wallace.
It is only 4 episodes.
Oh, good lord!
Fright of the Bumblebees, Last Resort, Muzzled, and the
God.
Bogeyman. Graydon, the Bogeyman.
The Bogeyman. This has been Indie Book Club. Thank you all for listening. I have been Graydon. This has been Alan. And until next time, give me a fun outro.
This has been Indie Book Club. Subscribe.
That was beautiful. We have a new theme song. Bye-bye, everybody.